Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, today we are going to go through the messages that I got from my teacher. I want to look at the messages and see what she had to say because I can't see them from my email. So, let's begin that first. And then we'll talk religion. Give me just a second. Oh, okay. What is the feedback that she had to give me? Your submission of the employee, aloha, Kimberly. Your submission of the employee development plan and narrative report reflects a thoughtful, student-centered approach that truly aligns with UMGC's commitment to nurturing growth and fostering a coaching mindset. You have clearly invested considerable effort in analyzing each employee's unique strengths, challenges, and career aspirations, and your plan demonstrates a strong ability to locate and access diverse resources, including courses, live exercises, mentoring sessions, and meetings. The way you tailor development activities to individual needs, for instance, Sally Newsom's focus on conflict resolution and management skills, Javier Espinosa's time management training, Robert Williams' technology skill development, and Rudolph Jenkins' leadership and field exercises show your strong analytical skills and careful consideration of context. Your plans thoughtfully integrate reflection opportunities through shadowing, live exercises, and mentoring discussions, fostering self-awareness and accountability while helping employees internalize lessons. Additionally, your activities naturally build resilience by exposing employees to challenges in real-world scenarios. Sorry, I want to make sure I internalize what she's telling me. Yeah, live exercises and mentor discussions, fostering self awareness and accountability while helping employees internalize lessons. Additionally, your activities naturally build resilience by exposing employees to challenges in real world scenarios, preparing them to navigate workplace pressures with confidence. The sequence of trainings, tests, and practical applications demonstrates clear strategic reasoning, effectively linking each development activity to short and long term goals, and aligning individual growth with organizational objectives. Moving forward, explicitly connecting each activity to specific competencies, measurable outcomes, and resilience building strategies. Understood. Understood. Will further strengthen your plans, making them either more evidence based and outcome focused. Your work communicates a strong coaching oriented perspective, demonstrating both strategic insight and genuine care for employee development. Your attention to practical implementation, individualization, and structured reflection reflects exemplary. I always get that word wrong. Exemplary. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Planning and nurturing and a nurturing approach with minor refinements. Your EDPs and narrative report will serve as an outstanding model for thoughtful, supportive work and development. Keep up the excellent reflective work. You're clearly building both your leadership and strategic planning skills while fostering meaningful growth in those you support. Superbly done. Wow. I appreciate that, teacher. Um, Dr. Kono. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So I passed the class. I don't know with what, but hopefully I get a. I don't even. I'm too scared to look at my grades. But I know I did pretty good. Okay. Now I'm gonna go here. We're gonna define what the Bible is and defining the Bible and what it means to God now. We're going to talk about the outside stuff. That is a good question. What does the Bible stand for? Somebody abbreviated. I remember hearing what it was, but defining the Bible and what it means to God. The Bible is a collection of writings that tells one unified story about God's plan to partner with humanity to rule a united heaven and earth. Remember those words, y'all. Remember those words. It's 6:36 p.m., 9:36 p.m. on the East Coast. 369. S L oh, I can't pronounce that. So wait. Ecclesiastes. CX. Ecclesiastes 7:11-12. God's testing is an invitation to growth, transformation, and a deeper, more intimate relationship with Him. In this pursuit, our faith deepens, our character matures, and we become more like Christ. It blatants my mind. It has to be some sort of connection because uh I've seen I've done a lot of readings on different mental health issues. And I noticed that a lot of people that have like severe mental health issues, it's in their book that a lot of people that have mental health issues feel like they are Christ. And I wonder what is the correlation? What is the correlation? Like, there's one guy who said that Christ was schizophrenic. There's a couple of people that said that Christ was schizophrenic. And I say to myself, why would somebody, and then I don't know, what the correlation is. I don't know. I'm no doctor. I did not go to school I went to school for almost 20 years, but I did not get a degree to become a PhD. I took one class, and I will say that there has to be some type of connection between Christ and mental health. I mean, I noticed a pattern. Like, if you look at mental health issues like schizophrenia, a lot of people with schizophrenia say that they're Christ. So I say that is his spirit, I'm not talking about the violent ones. I'm talking about the ones that say they're Christ, and you know, what is their story? What makes them think that? Do they have proof? Because, you know, I don't want to deflect or reflect off of myself, but um I know that I have mental health issues, and I've said things because of my mental health that I'm not proud of saying, but I know that there's a correlation between mental health and Christ. I do know that. I do know that, you know, and everybody that talks, it seems like it's okay to talk devilish. It's cute. It's the new hip hop thing to do. But when we talk Christ, it's like we're crazy. They are going to make religion. They're going to make religion into something crazy. Like, they've been studying this thing for decades, centuries, millennias, I believe. I get confused between millennia and millennium babies, millennia, whatever. They've been studying this for thousands of years. And I know that in my future, it's not going to be perfect. But I know this is bringing me closer to God, reading about him, they, we weren't there. We don't know God, whether, I mean, the Bible say, it's a him, um, what's confusing to me? You know, I've been rocking for 5 years, researching stuff. And I don't understand certain coincidences. Like, for instance, goddess, the word goddess. I've been talking about this for years now. Goddess, it actually is my numbers, 7-3, my birth date. Goddess, if you add up the word goddess using A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, D equals 4, E equals 5, and etc., all of the 26 letters, it equals my birth date, 7-3. Coincidence, right? That could be a coincidence. I have out there that, and I probably cannot do it no more. I don't know, but I know I did not edit that footage. But I have a footage of me slowing an object down, a string, without any editing. I don't have that type of Hollywood engineering on my hands. And I get deemed as crazy. There's no telepathic, there's no telekinesis, there's nothing. It's just you're either sane or crazy. Um, I don't know what to think. I'm just being honest about what has happened over the years. But let's go further. So basically, a less a C ecclesiastes. I hope I'm saying ecclesiastes, ecclesiastes 7, 11, 12. God is testing an invitation to growth. A lot of people don't, they sit up there and say, God, if I get the new Jordans on Friday, I promise you I'll be to church on Sunday. God, if I get my new um Porsche on Wednesday, I'll be to church on Sunday. Sunday come around. You get everything you want. Sunday come around. And nowhere MIA. MIA. MIA, an invitation of growth, transformation. I never promised that I went to church because there are some people in churches that are more corrupt than people that are outside of churches. They're sleeping with each other, and married and doing, sleeping with children. I don't go to church, but I'm not saying church is bad. What I'm saying is that we need to have an invitation of growth, transformation, and a deeper, more intimate relationship other than just speaking the word. Anybody can speak the word and have a good talking game, but it's when you internalize it and show him that you're learning. Okay, if you died tonight, do you know where you'll end up? To be quite honest, I don't think any of us know where we end up. I can't guarantee I'm going to heaven. To determine one's readiness for the afterlife. And how do you live your short time on earth with eternity on your hearts? Regarding the implications of eternal life. Other relevant questions include: who is your Lord? What is your religion? And who is your prophet? Asked by angels in the grave. What must you do to gain eternal life? Regarding actions or commandments, what is the nature of the afterlife? What is the nature of the afterlife will be? And what is the nature of the afterlife will be like? So, let's see. If I died tonight, I don't know where I would end up. And how do you live your short time on earth with eternity on your hearts? Because I know that there's something greater than me out there. There's no way there's not life somewhere on in this universe and in this multiverse and in this omniverse. I know there's an advanced civilization out there that's bigger than me that probably do five, probably not clap, but clap hands. Yeah, clap hands with God They probably clap hands together. You never know. They're probably there for us to help guide us a little closer to God. Benevolent ones I'm talking about. If you feel like your faith is being astray, like what you're doing on a regular to make your faith astray becomes astray, and you feel your faith slipping away, ask, what is out here beyond this world and what's going on in this world. I mean, that's what I ask. You know, I say to myself, I say, it's something out here that is beyond my brain capacity, because we never quite use all of our brain capacity like a computer. And there's something out here that's has a magical science and has a religion also. And it all connects to the ultimate God that created this omniverse and beyond. What's the difference between a demon and a fallen angel? Fallen angel is an angel who was cast out of heaven for rebelling against God. I think we've all at one time or another rebelled against God. And even the ones that are Christian are not perfect, have rebelled against God. And I think that for Jesus to have been on this earth, was Jesus a fallen angel? Let's look that up. I just have to know. I think he was the son of God. Yeah. Okay. So, according to Christian theology, he was God's son who was incarcerated as a human, while Satan is a fallen angel who rebelled against God. So, we are like in the middle of that. That's what it is. We're like innocent, and that's why it's sad to see innocent people, spirits, sit up there. And I'm learning as I go along. Um, Jesus was the Son of God. He was not a fallen angel, and he's God's son. So, what is his title? Creators of all, Jesus, the creators of all things, and angels who are created, who are his created beings. The bright morning star in glory and beauty, the title that contrasts the morning star who fell from his exalted position. I'm learning right along with y'all. As the creator and king of the universe, Jesus holds supreme authority over all created beings, including the demons. Jesus is the true morning star. Lucifer is the falling morning star. I always say to myself, you know, in order to breathe life, in order to create life, you know, in order to create life, like there has to be some woman involved, but they hardly even use the woman terms. You know, if there is a god, there's a goddess. I apologize for saying that, but we have all our sins repeat itself if we don't watch out. Um, let me see. Doesn't history repeat itself? Let's see. Give me just a second, you guys. Does history repeat itself? It's a fact that history repeats itself because look at the seasons. The seasons never, nothing, I mean, think about it. You got spring, you got summer, you got fall, you got winter. Some states don't even get all four seasons, but it's still the same based on where you live. Oh, understood. Okay. So history does not repeat itself in exact cycles each year. Instead, the phrase history repeats itself refers to reoccurring patterns, motives, and human behaviors that appear throughout different eras, not the identical retelling of its specific events. While historical events are, while each historical event is unique, the choices and challenges people face can be similar across time, leading to an analogous situation that rhyme rather than repeats. So, don't you wish that, you know, think about it for a second. You know how we can copy and paste something and then delete it? Don't you wish that Jesus, I know Jesus was smarter than us. I know he was because there are some historical shows that said that on Ancient Aliens saying that he had some type of connection with the alien beings. So I say to myself, what if he, I don't know. I don't know. This is theoretical. You know, who created the copy, paste, and delete button? Whatever is in your computer is always going to be there. whatever in your computer, whether you delete it, copy it, but when you're writing a paper, you know, and you want to, just like what I was doing yesterday, I wrote a paper and it wasn't acting right. So I copied it and pasted it and put it on a whole new Word document. And then I deleted what I had. If there's a connection to aliens, you know, his spirit is really never, I mean, we know his spirit is not dead. Hold on. Dad going in, I lost my train of thought. Is according to Christian belief and interpretations like Peter 1 Peter 13:18, Jesus' spirit was made alive after his death in the flesh, and he continues to be alive as a spirit being. Which means that, you know, the spirit did not die with his physical body. Everybody's spirit. Does everybody's spirit die? In many religions, including Christianity, whether the spirit dies with the body is not scientifically proven. That's the problem. Why does it have to be a science fact to energy never dies? This energy dies. Okay, so that's contradicting what you are saying, Google. The physical energy in your body does not die when you die. Instead, it changes form and dissipates into the environment. Energy never dies. Energy never dies. Why does science need to catch up to us when it's physics? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only change from one form to another. Just like China has its own sun. China has its own sun and locked up, has its own energy source. It's bigger than 10 nukes. I mean, it can hit harder than a nuke, the nuke that hit the country that it's from World War II, I want to say. Um, yeah, like it's more worse than that. It has enough energy to do that. And change from one form to another. No life energy. There's no scientific evidence for a separate life energy that leaves the body. What exists is the energy that forms the matter and powers the process of a living body. But we don't know. We don't know where that spirit goes. That they call it energy. Science call it energy. Quantum computing is not made up of energy, but electrical. Oh my God. Why am I saying that? Um, we are made up of electric energy. We are made up of 100 watts of power. That is when you are not doing nothing. You're burning 100 watts of power. But when you're running, like sprinting, over 2,000 watts. That's the same almost as plugging in the socket. That's what's in the socket. So we are made up of electricity a little bit. Give me just a second, you guys. I think a spirit could change into whatever they want to change into. Even trees are spirits. They house the it's photosynthesis and all of that stuff, energy coming to it that makes the oxygen and stuff. The soul. It all starts with 911. That's basic. That's the frequencies that are you know, they talking on the radio and stuff. I'm talking about um communication is also understood as a two-way street that requires a person to become receptive to divine messages, which is often subtle. To communicate with heavenly or heaven frequencies, a concept referring to the spiritual realm or high vibration no beings. Many spiritual and religious traditions focus on raising one's own energetic state through inner work rather than external technical methods. Communication is often understood as a two-way street that requires a person to become receptive to divine messages, which are often subtle. That is so true. Sound healing frequencies like 11.1 hertz holy frequency or 444 angelic frequency can help calm the mind and body, including a meditative state. This is what I don't get. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to sounds. That's crazy. You do that, you'll be deemed a schizophrenic or bipolar. Ask for protection. Practice discernment. Not all messages that come through are trustworthy. Pay attention to how a message makes you feel. The heavenly frequency will make you feel loving, peaceful, and expansive. None of those pictures depicts what I saw. Oh God, we done hit Mario in here. Still not how it looked. It was strings. That's the closest I can get. Sort of like this is how it looked. Except you see those lines? There were multiple lines. There was multiple lines shooting from it. It wasn't just a cross line. It was like multiple lines. I don't think there was a dot, but yeah. This was taken by a Ceres. It's the star Ceres. Binary meaning two. Oh my God. Orion's belt. I sat up there and I hashtag Orion's belt. Give me a second, y'all. Orion's belt, Egyptian stars that lines up with the three pyramids of Giza. And it's Orion's belt. Well, howdy, you guys that are watching me that are aliens. I purposefully did that. They lines up with the three pyramids. It's no way that three pyramids can line up with three stars outer space. So I call that very unique or smartly or smart. It was done very smart and it was very wise. You know, people still don't know what's in pyramids today. And yeah, and Osiris. They always say it's mythologies. That's what I don't like. History, Egyptian history, mythology. They were just as ghetto as a typical ghetto man. Like Isis, Osiris is the god of the underworld now, but he was a god, a pharaoh. Um, how he died was even more dysfunctional. His brother said, anyone who could fit in the coffin, I give it to you. So Osiris got in the coffin because Osiris, I believe, I hope I'm saying this right, slept with his wife, Seth's wife. And that infuriated him. So he was like, anyone, and it all started from Raw. And he said, anyone who will fit in his coffin, he knew that Osiris can fit in the coffin. And so sat up there, he got in the coffin, and all of them were in on it. They all nailed it shut. That's dysfunctional. And then ISIS got mad and brought him back, got his body in a disc that was examining the skies back then, a sun disk, found that she brought him back to life, and then chopped his body up and scattered it like 27 or 32 pieces all over Egypt. And then she managed to do another guide to get the bodies of all the chopped up pieces, put it together and consummate with him and have a child. I forgot what the child name was. But one day when the child grew up to be older, he challenged Seth to fight. I hope I'm saying this right. He challenged them to a fight, and Isis would not fight her own son's enemy that killed her father. So he chops off his mother's head, and then they put a cow head or something on her body. Um, and it was dysfunctional. It was very dysfunctional. It all started with Raw, and you know, I I really feel like uh that is a deity that I could read about it, but it's all good. That's all I need to say. On your own time, look up Egyptian mythology, history, the story of Ra and Isis and Osiris. Um, I always show it, but I always get in trouble by YouTube, so I'm not going to show it, or I'm going to show it and get off of YouTube. I think I'll show it and get off of YouTube. And if you want to follow me and you're on YouTube, follow me at the Kimberly Cloud Show 39 on Facebook. Hold on. I'm not going to delete what I have, but